Welcome back. Senate Democrats are being urged to, quote, play hardball against ICE and use a government shutdown as leverage to reform the agency. That, at least, according to a new memo reportedly floating around on Capitol Hill. With me now to talk all about it is Michael LaRosa, former chief spokesperson of First Lady Jill Biden and special assistant to President Biden, as well as Kaylee McGee-White, Fox News contributor and Steamboat Institute fellow. Kaylee and Michael, great to see you both. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having us.
So we'll start off talking about Mayor Frey in Minneapolis. President Trump put out a Truth Social this morning after that phone call he had with him. Said, quote, surprisingly, Mayor Jacob Frey just stated that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration laws. This is after having had a very good conversation with him. Could somebody in his inner sanctum please explain that this statement is a very serious violation of the law and that he is playing with fire? Well, Mayor Frey then tweeted out again today that kind of doubled down, said we will not cooperate with ICE. Michael, I know you got some thoughts on this. You tweeted yesterday that this is just a really bad idea, really bad messaging from Democrats. Give us your thoughts.
Well, I don't think Democrats as a whole, a party, wants to be seen, viewed, perceived as a party that will not follow the law, that will not follow. I mean, does that make it okay to not pay taxes? Where do you cross the line? And this statement is so irresponsible that it is going to hurt Democrats who feel like, you know, public safety is important and that enforcement is important. We can do both. We can have enforcement and we can welcome immigrants to this country. Barack Obama did it. Barack Obama was very tough on enforcement with his ICE raids. In fact, the ACLU called it a mockery of the Fourth Amendment. But we didn't see this backlash to law enforcement the way we're seeing now. And Democrats need to change their rhetoric because it will hurt us in the long run, as it did President Biden.
And speaking of that rhetoric, Kaylee, do you think Democrats at some point have kind of just talked themselves into a corner here? Every day they're calling ICE the Gestapo and Nazis. So if they were ever going to cooperate with them, is their base going to say, well, how could you cooperate with Nazis?
Well, that, and I think that what's changed is that political viability is now on the line, because as much as Democrats might not want to be seen as the party that opposes law and order, they much would rather remain politically viable. And the fact is that if deportations continue, if the border remains shut down, then Democrats are going to be in a very hard position come the 2030 census. Their political viability very much so depends on juicing those census numbers in blue states, which they've been able to do with mass illegal immigration.
Philly DA Larry Krasner has a few thoughts on ICE as well. Let's take a listen to that. Get your thoughts on the other side.
If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities, we will find you, we will achieve justice, and we will do so under the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
Michael, yet another Nazi comparison.
The language is sick. It's really that kind of language that is contributing to what brings us here today. You know, he's a law enforcement official. I'm embarrassed to be from Pennsylvania because he's doing things like that. This is not a moral proxy war. We can be for the rule of law. We can be for the law, enforcing the laws as they are written. And you know what? If people don't like it, it's the policymakers who made the laws that we're still operating under. It's a 1986 law. That's why it does take legislative and executive cooperation in order to change the law. But the ICE agents are just following the laws on the books. So maybe everybody should be directing their anger at the people who write and can change the laws.
Kaylee, got about 30 seconds left here. I want to get your thoughts. Who's going to get the blame if we have a partial government shutdown? Democrats say it's going to be Senate Republicans. They're in the majority. Republicans say, well, you guys are the ones who are messing with the DHS bill. Who's it going to fall on?
It'll be the Democrats. They'll have to own it, just like they have to own the consequences of the last one. They're saying they're doing this over ICE, but as we discussed earlier, ICE is already funded through 2029. Yeah. So they're going to be affecting TSA, they're going to be affecting FEMA, and more importantly, the hardworking Americans who depend on those government agencies on a daily basis.
Michael, final thoughts to you. Chuck Schumer says we need to, quote, rein in ICE. Final thoughts.
Agree. It shouldn't be a choice between defund or reforming. We can all agree that there needs to be some reasonable reform.
All right, got to leave it there. Michael LaRosa, Kaylee McGee-White, great to see you guys. Get that roof fixed.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.